Welcome all my wicked witches and warlocks to the ATT Spooktober Spectacular. I do hope you're prepared to have a spell of a good time. While Pennsylvania may rate lower on the spook-o-meter than other more infamous Vanias, it possesses a certain chilling charm all its own. Since the earliest days of the Keystone State, settlers have dabbled all across the spectrum of magic spells. Old world beliefs and Christian mythos swirled together inside a bubbling cauldron to conjure up a regional flavor of folk magic. Concern over curses and ritual remedies had a place in the Pennsylvania Dutch communities for centuries. If fate took an unexpected or unfortunate turn, it was always considered a possibility that a curse was the cause. This was certainly the case in 1928 when 3 men were dead set on freeing themselves from the influence of a suspected sorcerer. This case file joined the Fearists as they huff a little hocus-pocus and crack a few cantrips while conjuring up the tale of the Hex House Murder.
Welcome to Alien Theorists Theorizing Case File 255. 255. The Hex House. The Hex Murders. The Hexamania.
The Witch of Hex Hollow.
Lords. Yeah.
The Hex Girls.
Yeah.
Put a spell on
you. We going to Hexaco.
That's what I thought. I watched that movie. That's what we're talking about,
You
right?
boys like Hexaco?
The Hex Girls.
There we go.
So we're talking about, right? Their career?
Yeah,
Evolution as a
Scooby-Doo and
band.
the Witch's Ghost. It's a fucking good one.
I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
We got the band back together.
Right.
Left these fuckers for 2 weeks, and you get all the classics.
It felt like 4 years.
You get the updated DuckTales. You get Braden with fucking ice cubes in his mouth.
Yep.
You get Dan at crazy audio quality.
Chips, hey?
Oh, dude, it was bad.
Just the bottom of the bag of Lay's, and just gurgles.
Just ice cubes banging around.
Bing, 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 bing.
You know what? You gotta let the boys run wild. You know, get it out of their system.
Yeah.
I let them.
How was Transylvania?
I was there for the Tournament of Champions, where the Earth's supernatural battle for supremacy.
Like medieval times?
Yes, it's exactly like medieval times.
That's where you fought your old man, right?
All right. That was the main event.
Yeah, and I will get no inheritance because he bested me once again.
Oh, we got the wrong email in.
Is it like another
And
100
in this
years?
quarter.
Let's say every 100 years. There's a battle Tournament of Champions.
That must feel like a week for you, though.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's not long.
The prodigal son.
It's humiliating.
Zell!
It's humiliating.
Huzzah!
Humiliating every time you lose, though. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, it was good. It was a fun trip.
Give us a quick highlight. What was the best part?
Best part off the top of my head. Well,
The baby was sleeping?
Yeah, when she went to sleep.
Yep.
No, she was actually a fucking champion. She slept pretty much every night, all night. Driving with a baby is hard. Obviously, everyone knows that.
Sure.
We got lucky, and it wasn't too hard. But that's three of us, I mean, you can only do so much with baby as far as touristy stuff. You get about 3 hours before nap time. So I went to, what's this place called? I got ripped for this podcast. Lisbon, you take a train to, someone help me.
Well, you want us to help you?
It's got all these castles.
Yeah. That's Portugal. That's all of Spain and Portugal. It's all of the Iberian Peninsula, really. It's just a lot of castles and cathedrals.
Anyways, I went to see what's called, it's like a Masonic Gothic reconstruction. Some guy.
Is that about the one the video you sent us?
Yeah, and it's just like, it's this castle up on a hill. And it's like, it should be like 4,000 years old, but it's only a handful of hundreds of years. And they had like this initiation well, which has a lot of internet lore, very little written lore, but it has like 9 circles. It's like a 9 flight staircase. And then the whole way down, there's these little, I don't know, looks like a sarcophagus or something where you'd slide a coffin into.
Is that where like the 9 circles of hell comes from?
That's where the lore comes from. I think that just the spiraling into the underworld is kind of like
badass.
But it's super. It leads to like this cave underneath, and there's all these little like break off points in the cave, and they're all got iron gates over them. Super creepy.
Plus to keep everything inside.
What's behind those gates?
To keep drunk tourists out.
But that was sweet. I tried surfing again. Thought I'd pay for a lesson this time. Turns out the day I chose, I showed up and the guy asked me like 50 questions about my board capabilities.
Nice.
And then he goes,
do you lie like we did last time?
Of course. Yeah, I'm a professional snowboarder.
I've surfed every day of my life.
I surfed so many times. He's like, all right, we'll go out because it's really hard waves today. Got to make sure you can swim. The waves are just they came in so fast and they rose and crashed so quick. If you weren't a good surfer, you got rocked, which exactly what happened to me repeatedly for an hour and a half.
Nice.
That's fun. That was a great trip. Great trip. Great family trip all around.
Well, luckily you're just in time to come back and join us for some
Spooktober.
Best time of the year.
If you've been listening to us, this is where we dedicate the month of October to all spooky, supernatural, and ghost,
as is tradition,
stuff. And
the town was called Sintra. There you go. It's called Sintra. Came back to me. And just before we get to the meat of the case file, people have been asking us for years to do something with the Brohio podcast. Well, this is step 1, with more to come. Here's a little message from the Brohio podcast.
Oh my gosh, Rob, do you see that? We've waited our entire lives for this. He's so beautiful. How many people can actually say they've seen a Bigfoot in person? I know. Look at how the full moon just glistens off of his majestic fur. He kind of stinks. Like 50 wet dogs. Wait. He's arching his back. I think he's about to howl. We are the Brohio Podcast, and we are on a never-ending quest to explore all of the unknown. True crime, paranormal, demons, hauntings, aliens, UFOs, urban legends, and all of the occult. We are your one-stop shop anytime you want to take a walk on the dark side. You can find the Brohio Podcast anywhere you download your favorite podcast. We have new episodes every week. Thank you so much for listening.
You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at Brohio Podcast.
Tonight's case file is very fitting with if you've been following us for so far this month. I think we've been to the most haunted house in the world.
Right.
We've been to the most haunted
castle?
What else?
Castle.
The most haunted castle.
Mm-hmm.
Then what? I know we did something else that was the most haunted house.
We did another most haunted house.
You did the most
House,
haunted DuckTales episode.
No. Yeah, one was the most haunted house in the world, and one was, I think it was regionally, it was the most haunted.
Most haunted house in California.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But now
now this one today.
Here we go.
Whoa. There's, you could go two ways with this. It's either the most hexed house in the world or the most haunted house in Pennsylvania. So,
A twofer.
High on the hexing.
Listen, that's big though, boys, because it's
lower on the haunted.
Listen, it's a Vania.
It is.
Yeah.
Those are fucking spooky places.
Yeah,
Everybody knows
yeah,
if it ends in Vania, it's a fucking spooky ass place.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's common knowledge.
That adds up. And today we're talking about the Hex House of Pennsylvania. Again, a lot of hexes happen. I kind of had
Of all the names, that's the one you're going with?
Well, what's the better name than the Hex House?
I loved Hexamania.
Hexamania was good. The Haunting of Hex Hollow was great.
Yeah.
The Witch of Hex Hollow.
Hexico? I like that one.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, we can call it whatever we want. But this is, anyone else have to brush on what the fuck hexing was? I was like, I wasn't really sure. I was like, is this just?
I know exactly what it is because I see it every time I fucking look in the mirror. I've been hexed. Yeah. I had to have been hexed.
Me too.
Everyone makes fucking sense. Bullshit.
Everyone on this goddamn show's been hexed.
Anytime something bad happens to you, you've been hexed.
Hey, here's a question. Does Brent Hand of Hysteria 51 have hair?
I don't know.
Does he have?
Because if he does, I'm going to say
he hexed us.
The bold claim here, he hexed us. We've been hexed.
But maybe he hexed us to look like him.
I can't remember if he has hair. I think he does have hair.
Pretty sure he does.
He has hair.
I'm pretty sure
he's got a nice full head of hair.
He does have hair. That bastard.
It's his fault.
Yeah.
Coming for you, Brent.
We're coming for a lock of your hair, bud.
Yep. Yeah. We'll be coming.
Bury that shit.
We got to break into his house. We got to find his books of spells, his grimoire. Break this curse. Much like what happened at the Hex House.
Let's get into this fucking case file already. Jesus.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, if you're brushing up on hex magic, you probably hit that. That tradition goes all the way back to Germany. Right. So, and as it goes back to Germany, Pennsylvania.
It's like everything fucking weird, right? It's the Germans.
Yeah. And if you're familiar with the original colonization of Pennsylvania, you'll be familiar with the Pennsylvania Dutch, which are actually German immigrants who came to settle there.
Yeah,
Dwight and the Belschnickel.
Dwight Stewart.
Right?
Yeah.
Now there are different denominations of Pennsylvania Dutch. Like you do have the regular Dutch, but you have the plain Dutch, which are the Amish. Like there's the Amish, the Mennonites, those ones, and whatever. And then you have the other side, which are kind of like the ones that brought over a lot of the
bad boys.
They brought over a lot of their common traditions, and as they would, the folk magic and practices that they had from Germany, and they brought those over to the United States when they emigrated.
But it's Belschnickel and Struwelpeter. Remember Struwelpeter? No. I'm not even going to talk about that because it'll get canceled. That was okay to talk about in the early 2000s.
So if you practice this type of folk magic that was prevalent along the Pennsylvania Dutch communities, you were one of the you were referred to as a powwower. Some people kind of say powwows like it has a Native American association, but in this sense, this one has nothing to do with any of that, and it has just what they were referred to. And these powwowers were seen as people who were kind of magical religious folk that drew on healing power from God. So I mean, in Dungeons and Dragons terms, they'd be like clerics, I suppose, or druids.
It's interesting. It's an interesting mix, of both. Because usually they don't really go hand in hand, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's a unique kind of mix, and it was it's a very regional flavor there. One of those kinds of things. When I think about it, like Pennsylvania Dutch and those things, I think of always like the Solomon Kane, novellas and stuff from like the from Robert E. Howard, who wrote the Conan books, like fucking fighting the forces of evil with the power of God and all of this protection spells and all this kind of neat stuff. But yeah, you could go to a powwow back then, or like 1600s, like early colony days, and they would provide you cures and reliefs from illnesses, or
so it's kind of like a warlock.
Yeah.
But like a doctor, so like a warlocker.
Yes.
Witch doctor.
Dr. Warlock.
Witch doctor, yeah.
Do you want to know some of the amazing spells you can cast with this? Here's one. A precaution against injuries. All you have to do is carry the right eye of a wolf fastened inside your right sleeve, and you will remain free from all injuries.
That's it.
Makes sense.
That's it.
That's
It's easy.
science.
It's funny though, because you actually have to get that fucking eye out of the wolf, which I'd imagine would inflict some injuries.
If you're badass enough to get the eye of a wolf, I'm sure you'll be protected from any type of.
I can't even get a fucking ball away from my dog. Are you gonna get an eye away from a wolf? Like, come on.
I want to hear another one.
Sure.
Yeah.
So back in the day, whooping cough was a very severe.
I love how Zell's giving us firsthand knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
This is how I was cured of whooping cough in 1814.
COVID could have been cured so much easier. No vaccines needed. All you needed was this book. They fucked up.
Yeah.
Because
They did.
for whooping cough, very severe respiratory disease, right? What's that? It's whooping cough, or what's the actual like?
Pertussis.
Pertussis.
It's called pertussis.
All you have to do is thrust a child who has the whooping cough 3 times through a blackberry bush without speaking or saying anything. The bush, however, must be grown fast at the 2 ends, and the child must be thrust through 3 times in the same manner. That is to say, from the same side it was thrust through in the first place.
Dude, I will tell you firsthand knowledge.
Yeah, no problem.
If no one here has seen a blackberry bush, it's basically nature's razor wire.
It's insane.
That shit, and it grows so fast and so thick. I have so much blackberry bushes in my backyard. It's the bane of my existence. You touch it, you're sliced up, and like honestly, like razor blade slices, like so fine, so you're just gonna thrust the child. Yeah, this will help your cough.
It's like a scene from like Hellraiser. You like touch the blackberry bush, just like your skin gets like flayed off your entire arm.
Dude, honestly, you cannot grab these things.
Hey, listen,
anywhere.
you can't cough when you're dead. So it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. You're not coughing anymore.
Yeah. You scream it all out.
Yeah.
Right? Everything that's phlegm and build up, as you're getting thrust through, in 3 thrusts, you've cleared your whole lungs. It's good.
So yes, so while you could use your powwow magic and to solve problems, it wasn't just for like diseases and things and like common ailments. So you could also use it for, like we said, protection from evil. Also,
Making 4 podcasters go bald. Like,
right, and make other podcasts. Yes, you could use it for malevolent purposes. So you also had practitioners of black magic, because there was like 2 sides of the coin.
The way better kind. Better version.
And these ones drew their power, as legend goes, they drew it from the devil or other ungodly sources. So you had, these were known as hex doctors, right? And these were the powwowers who were knowledgeable in the ways of hexurai, which was, you would find a hexenrai who is also skilled at battling witches and removing curses.
I thought it was pronounced hexaria.
I tried to figure out what it is, but it's from German, so it's hexenrai.
Yeah,
like okay. Reich, like, it's like hexenrai.
Like the Third Reich, you would know.
You would know, Dan.
Right.
Dan's Reich.
So if you found a hex doctor who is knowledgeable in the ways of hexerai, that's the person that you would call to battle another witch who had put you on a hex. So we need to find a hexerai, and we need to engage their skills for Brent Hand. So
it's like semen; it just shows up everywhere. We can see it.
Yeah.
So a lot of this knowledge in the powwower folklore, folk magic was passed down usually orally. Like nothing was really written down until about the 1800s, where you had like these homemade volumes that were eventually all kind of compiled together and then published in volumes. Like they were put out like in books that people could kind of acquire, and then those became common usage. And then you would kind of supplement that knowledge that was published by other powwowers. So you'd have a bunch, like all kind of just these.
This is why I support burning books, because knowledge like this shouldn't be in the hands of everyone.
It's too powerful.
Right?
Well, honestly, that doesn't sound so bad so far. Like we haven't even like most of the powwowing is helping and healing.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? That's great.
But we can't have that either.
Whatever.
Well, so there are actually, when I was researching it, there are two. Okay, let's talk about this one first. So one of the most famous and widely read of the books was compiled by an actual practitioner, powwower named John George Hoeman in 1819, and this one was titled "The Long Lost Friend." And this book became so popular and so widely distributed that the book itself became like a type of talisman. And the book in the front
like
of
a necklace.
Well, more like I guess you'd call it a grimoire or whatever. Like it's just a talisman, something that if you just possessing it, as per the inscription on some of the editions of the book, read something like, "Whoever carries this book with him is safe from all enemies, visible and invisible, and whoever has this book with him cannot die without the holy corpse of Jesus Christ, nor drown in any water, nor burn up in any fire, nor can any unjust sentence be passed upon him. So help me God."
So it's the invincibility book.
Buddy, think about how many of those that guy sold, eh?
Genius.
He's flying off the shelves.
Come on down. You can't be burned. You can't be drowned. You
Just walk straight into the lake. I'm good.
Yeah.
So there's actually like an opposite of that book.
Oh, your brother died? Your brother drowned, did you say? Did he have his book on him? No? Well, that's why. He's dead.
Well, and if they died, he'd be like, well, he obviously wasn't a believer.
Yeah. It's obviously a knockoff book.
He obviously didn't love Jesus and powwow.
It's a forgery.
Yeah. Did he read it?
Something we might have to talk about on another one, but there's also like an opposite side of that book, The Long Lost Friend. Is there's another volume of books called the 6th and 7th Books of Moses, which were actually said to have been like the malevolent side. Like those are the ultimate books of black magic, said to date all the way back to like when Moses and his brother Aaron like set plagues on Egypt. Like that's how far it goes back.
And just so everyone knows, if you want to be invincible, just like Zell, for $23.94 on Amazon.ca, you can get yourself The Long Lost Friend and live a long, fruitful life.
We actually have an audio version too that Dan reads to you for fucking $25.99. All right, so
You paid a dollar.
If you
$1
download it
more.
to your phone,
audible.com.
you will be immune from hangovers. You'll be immune from food poisoning. Right? Any small ailment or affliction, you shall be immune once you listen to the 35-part series narrated by Dan.
Yeah, any ailment that can usually be cured or remedied by the passage of time, our book will cure you.
Not a chance you get bit by a possum after you listen to Dan read.
If you live in North America, it will 100% protect you from tiger attacks.
Yeah. The chance of you being consumed by a great white shark drops 100%.
If you live in one of the interior 48 states, like 47 states.
What a deal for $25.99. You are immune to shark attack for your entire life. And if you order it today, we will grant that immunity to your children.
It extends generation.
Just
right. Just right now, you got to order it. You got a 12-hour window to get immunity for your children.
So now hex magic again has been prevalent. So when you think about witches and witchcraft, like a lot of people immediately, the association is the Salem witch trials, late 1600s or whatever. The story that we're going to talk about, the Hex House, this one actually occurred
far later,
like in the 1920s. Like this is how long those cultural beliefs have held on. And I think some people, like I'm sure some people still practice a lot of the hexerai and the
it has not gone away.
The power has not gone away.
There's always a couple kids in high school that do weird shit. Always.
Yeah.
You knew they were weird, but you're still kind of scared of them. You're like, oh.
I know a couple girls who are charging moon rock, so.
So the story of specifically the Hex House begins with a powwower who is named John Blymeyer, who was born in 1895, and he was inducted into the ways of German folk magic at a young age. His family were powwowers, and he was a powwowers at least 3 generations, probably longer if you lived in the area, which is York County, Pennsylvania. Going back generations, like the knowledge of the powwow goes back, for decades or centuries, right? And Blymeyer, from most accounts, like he was kind of I guess you could kind of call him a prodigy, like a powwow prodigy, I suppose.
Well, it's a strong bloodline, right? Because his great grandfather was the 7th son of a 7th son.
That's right. And we kind of forgot to mention that powwowers, a lot of powwowers, like the ones that were considered most powerful or most effective, were usually from a long bloodline. Like there were certain families that were considered like their bloodlines were stronger in the magic, the powwow. Oh. So he was a part of that.
No
family.
mudbloods here, buddy. Yeah, none of that shit.
So eventually he did come down and he became ill for a prolonged period of time. And so he started to believe that he was actually the victim of another practitioner of folk magic that had placed a hex on him.
We gotta talk about some of this guy's accomplishments real quick though. Like this kid was a fucking prodigy, like Jan said. Like supposedly at 7 years old, he cured his great grandfather of urinary retention. All right, like they had exhausted all options.
Gave him a shot in the bladder.
Oh yeah, well,
boom.
Listen, you run at all options. You're like, this guy can't piss. Who do we turn to? The 7-year-old that pisses his bed. This guy knows all about pissing. Like this is gonna teach you how to do it. But
he's an expert.
But no, like one of the coolest things I was reading though was supposedly when even as a kid, because school wasn't for him, he was sickly and they were focused on powwowing instead of like the normal education.
Yeah.
He powwowing, what we did learn too, it's kind of like a trade exchange. You don't normally get paid for your, but they'll help you out in other ways, whatever. So it's not the most lucrative of talents, I guess.
Right. It's like a hobby.
Yeah, a hobby. There you go. So he worked at this like cigar factory that we'll talk about again later, but he's worked at it as a young kid. And he was leaving work one day and he's with a couple of friends. And as they walked out, they got kind of cornered by this like giant rabid dog. Like foaming at the mouth, like straight up rabies. And everybody's like, holy fuck, like what do we do? There was no real exit. They're kind of in an alley, they're getting backed up. And fucking Johnny Boy, Blymeyer, goes full Ace Ventura and just walks right up to the dag and gives him a little rub between his eyes and whispers an incantation. And then within minutes, the dog starts like stops snarling. The foam gets out of its mouth and it starts wagging his tail and follows them all the way home.
You want to know what the spell is? You walk towards the dog and you say, dog, hold thy nose to the ground. God has made me and thee, hound. And you must make 3 crosses with your hands and you can control a mad dog.
Makes sense.
Fuck.
If you hold this, if you hold this book.
Yeah, I have the book.
Gotta have the book.
This kid's like Dick Swicken in the powwow
the
community.
book. He pulled it out. He rolled it up into a fucking
Love it.
Well, the book's actually I think it's only like 100 and some pages. It's actually pretty good. You could put it in your back pocket probably.
It's short. You could get it in notepad size.
Yeah.
This kid, so the kid, like he's got the fucking gift, right? He's got the touch.
He's got a midichlorian count of 20,000.
You got the power.
Yeah. Stan Bush wrote a whole song about him.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yes, he, like Andrew mentioned, like he was a sickly child. He has been around powwow magic his entire life. Like even when he was a kid, he was treated by a powwower when he
by a
neighbor, and also
we'll talk about
family member. We'll talk about. And so when he fell under what he believed was the power of another hex, he found himself unable to eat or sleep, or even his powwow magic kind of left him, so he was unable to perform.
Yeah,
disrupted.
Couldn't concentrate on it.
Right. And so as the story goes, apparently one night while he was laying in bed trying to sleep, the answer came to him as to why these things were happening. These ailments had befallen him. And just as the clock struck midnight, an owl outside his window hooted 7 times. And that, and the idea came to Blymeyer that he actually been hexed by the spirit of his great grandfather Jacob, who had been a powwower in the line of long powwowers, who had been a 7th son of a 7th son.
Of a 7th son.
A 7th son.
Yeah.
Trained by Jeff Bridges in his I don't give a fuck role.
That's the equivalent of being the boy who lived. Like that's that's big dick energy. You're going to be powwowing everything.
But for this revelation had him decide that he would move away. That was the only way to put distance between him and his ancestral home, which was located near the cemetery where his great grandfather had been buried. Family burial plots and what have you. He was going to move away from there, and then that would loosen the grip of the hex that had taken hold.
So
of him.
The hex.
What are you going to do? Like he's dead. How are you going to break the hex?
Yeah, I was going to say the hexes don't have a. Do they have a distance? Like this hex is only good for 10 kilometers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Probably.
He's in the hex.
He's in the hex zone. Everybody knows there's a hex zone. There's hex zone.
He was in the hex radius. What kind of piece of shit grandpa puts a powwow onto his grandson? Is this post-mortem pow? Right?
He's dead too.
He's dead? He's dead and he's hexing?
Yeah, he has to be. Because he's dead when he got hexed. Everything was going great.
So maybe he had some unfinished business, and he hexed
I think
the grandson to get him.
It was
his
probably
attention.
a product of him, just a byproduct of him being the grandson of a 7th son who is a 7th son
of a 7th son.
Well, the grandpa, he's the 7 of the 7. Like, listen, he's the guy. And then all of a sudden, my fucking grandson's out here helping dags and curing people's fucking piss problems.
Him, right?
No, listen, I'm the guy. You're not going to come over here, so he hexes him.
Do you guys think all this NWO stuff with, not allowing, forced population control and, making the economy hard so you can't have as many kids is to prevent people from giving birth to any more chosen ones?
Oh, trying to limit the chosen ones, what you're saying.
Right? Like they're trying to limit the amount of chosen ones out there.
They're trying to get rid of the force-sensitive children.
Why don't they just have a hex? Why don't they have a powwower on staff just to hex everybody?
Right, because I'll tell you right now, this might surprise you guys, but I don't know one 7th son from a 7th son.
7th.
You guys know any? I don't even know a 3rd son. That's rare for me. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe they have been hexed out of existence.
Our current economic systems have prevented the evolution of our economic systems have affected the birth rates. Therefore, limiting
a lack of chosen
birth of chosen ones.
So you're saying inflation is just made up fucking to stop.
Right. Capitalism in itself is just an entire strategy by design.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Not to keep the working man down, but to actually not to exploit the proletariat, but to prevent the birth of chosen ones.
So are we just going to ignore like the thousands of sons before the first 7 sons?
Yes.
How it works? Okay.
Everyone knows. Listen, no one gives a shit if you're first through 1 through 6. All right.
No.
Get on with your life. Go to work. All right, and die.
I'll tell you right now. I'm the first son. I'm a bitch ass.
But I'm saying, when does the sons restart? Because if you go, we got to have sons of sons of sons of sons for the dawn of time.
Buddy, 7th son.
But do you think you're bad? Look at me. I'm a first son of a 2nd son. Right.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
7th son.
My brother is a 2nd son of a 2nd son.
I just want to. I don't know. As soon as you said, I just wanted to spit.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
scumbag.
Right.
So back to Blymeyer. Blymeyer moved away, and this is when he was working at the. I believe he got a job at that cigar factory that we mentioned before, where the incident with the rabid dog occurred.
Is he still a child at the cigar factory?
He's pretty young.
He's pretty young.
Yeah.
He's pretty young.
He started early.
Late teens. maybe 20s.
Yeah, because the incident we talk about later, he's only 30.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So he's younger.
So when he moved away, getting away from what he felt was
getting away from the hex ratings.
Getting away from the hex. He met a young woman by the name of Lily, which he married, and they had 2 children, which both died in infancy.
That's the hex.
That's a hex.
So
anything bad.
Yes.
Right? No more chosen ones, I'm telling you.
So Blymeyer, after these unfortunate events, the death of his 2 children during infancy, he felt that he had, the hex had returned, and he couldn't figure out where the hex was coming from. Either the hex had returned or it maybe had followed him at this point. And so he actually
that's what's confusing to me, right? Because I read in that too, because he's like, I assumed it was the same hex all along, but he obviously thinks it's a new hex, right?
Well, I think he didn't know at that point. He wasn't sure. So it's like, it's either the old hex coming back or it's a new hex of somebody who had probably, because he was still practicing powwowing at this time, as we proved by the dog incident and probably other incidents that weren't reported, just whatever. But, as a practicing powwower, he could have been targeted. I think he believed that he could have been targeted by someone who is jealous of his abilities. So he wasn't sure of the origin of this hex. So he had to turn to other powers. He had to turn to, his colleagues in the field, I suppose, to help him.
When we were kids, used to do all sorts of hexing.
Hex the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, dude, when we between the ages of 9 and 15, anytime I'd go over there, Zell was such a good host. He'd turn water into juice, water into iced tea.
And I was good at it. Really good. So good that the bottom 20%
for iced tea.
The bottom 20% of a jug would be pure sugar, and that's how good it was.
You paint your fingernails black, listen to Atreyu, just doing like hexes and shit.
Making Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
You're just like,
it's not wrong.
So Blymeyer went and reached out to other powers, in the area. And one of these was named a man named Andrew Lenhart. And so Andrew Lenhart, in conversations with Blymeyer.
This guy is supposedly huge badass, by the way. Like this guy, apparently if he put a hex on you, your only way to reverse this hex is by conjuring the devil to get it off of you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like this guy was infamous for being a fucking scary ass dude. Like police didn't even fuck with him.
Yeah. 4 out of 5 stars on Hex Yelp.
Yeah.
And so Lenhart actually convinced Blymeyer that this hex had been put upon him by someone that he knew well. So this kind of
well, I mean, that makes sense though. In logical, they say if you're going to be murdered, you're probably going to be murdered by someone you know. It would only make sense that if you're going to be hexed, you're going to be hexed by someone you know. Because what kind of psychopath out there is hexing strangers?
I mean,
right? You have to be a real, special breed just to be like, who's that guy? Hexed. Right? Like you're doing this I think you're doing this out of jealousy or something.
I fucking hate that dude's hat. God, I fucking hate that guy.
Hexed, right? This is like brewing, like you have some issues with this person and you're like, fuck, I'm fucking hexing this motherfucker.
This premeditated hexing is what you're saying. There's different degrees.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is, so Lenhart was, in conversations, they met a couple times, I believe. And then they, this kind of pushed Blymeyer into a kind of like a paranoid area, like a very paranoid state of mind. And he started kind of like suspecting everyone. He started becoming suspect of everyone, even including his wife, Lily, right? Because at this time, Lily is reported to have become very worried since it was actually known that Andrew Lenhart, the powwower that Blymeyer had met with, had other clients. And one of his other clients had been a woman who had murdered her husband after receiving the same kind of information that Blymeyer had received. That Lenhart told her that somebody was hexing her that was close to her, and she suspected her husband, and then ended up shooting her husband in the chest, like while he was sleeping.
Jesus! Wow. Okay.
Fucking, you got hexed.
That was the final words.
And it got to such a point that Lily actually had Blymeyer committed to the Harrisburg State Hospital in Pennsylvania. Like he had him committed, under the pretense that he was danger. He was a danger to himself and probably to others. And then while he was there,
under the Mental Hex Act,
right? And then while he was there, Lily actually consulted with lawyers and then obtained a judge's order to have, she divorced him like while he was there in the Harrisburg State Hospital. And the doctors there, when they, diagnosed him or they talked to him and as they came to their conclusion, they said that he was pretty much obsessed with hexes and magic, but being that, assuming that hexes and magic were not these were fantasies, like these were something that he had just become strongly obsessed with and that were affecting his life in a seriously negative way.
Now,
did you blame the guy? Like he's been indoctrinated in this since he was a fucking child.
Yeah, and
right, like like it's like any other religion. This is a religion to him,
especially when he was a small child, and they're being like, "You are the chosen one,
buddy. You're the fucking guy, right?" Like, and so obviously he's gonna be like that. Like that's. We don't do that to I fucking got Christian friends and I'm like,
and part of me wondered if that was part of that some hex that was on him. Was this like crippling anxiety? Like maybe it was giving him thoughts of that everyone was out to get him, right? Like because he wouldn't know who did this to him, right? So he's trying to figure that out. So it's all of a sudden it's everyone, right?
He's on a hex hunt.
Yeah, right. So it's like it's driving
his sexual health is just out of whack.
Yes.
God damn it, that's good. That's funny.
You need some hexual healing.
I was just gonna say that. All right. On that note, though, before we get any farther, beer's empty. You got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, theorists, listen up. This week's sponsor of Alien Theorist Theorizing is our best sponsor, maybe of all time, mood.com. If you've been listening to the show for a while, you know I'm a huge weed person. I love flour. I love gummies and edibles. I love the drinks. I love the chocolates. I love it all. I love popping a couple, theorizing with the boys, having a good time. That's why I'm here again telling you about mood.com. It's changing the way people can buy weed. You know, most dispensaries make you choose between strains with kind of ridiculous names and you have no idea which one is for you, which one makes you giggly, which one makes you sleepy, which is best for you when you're having a night out. And you're standing there at the fucking counter and being like, all right, just give me something. I don't care. That's where mood.com has it figured out. And you can get 20% off your first order with promo code ALIEN. So keep that handy because this is going to blow your damn mind. It's now 100% federally legal in the USA to have really great bud shipped right to your door. It's third-party lab tested and ships to your door in a discreet little box. Best of all, everything's backed by Mood's 100-day satisfaction guarantee. Like I said, get 20% off with code ALIEN at checkout. Check the show notes of the podcast. Put in your promo code ALIEN. Do it now. Mood.com. All right, back to the show.
Now, Blymeyer, in his stay at the Harrisburg State Hospital, again, we said that his doctors had pretty much diagnosed him with an obsession with hexes and magic. So, something that's, it's just, he's been inculcated.
Yeah, he's got a hex addiction.
Right. He's got a hex addiction.
He's a hex addict.
So it's not, and it wasn't necessarily like he was a danger. So it wasn't like they had him under heavy guard or anything, or, locked him away and somewhere in a straitjacket or anything, because 48 days later, after he was committed, he simply just walked out of the door. They said he just vanished.
Cast a spell.
He didn't have to uproot like a fucking water fountain and throw it out a window?
Nope.
Just
I don't even think they had water fountains back then. I mean, they did.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Right.
That's a good reference. I liked it.
That's good. And so, he just like walked out and just vanished, right? Just took off that day. But
I'd imagine, like, think about it. They're probably, Especially at this time too, because you're fucking, you got both hands full lobotomizing everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And you're busy. Guys are just like, you can't. Yeah, like you're just like, you're probably so busy back then. You're like, I don't know, because you're committing everyone back then.
Yeah, they did not make a very wholehearted effort to go ahead and recover Blymeyer or anything. So he wasn't really didn't seem he was really considered a danger to anybody, because he actually just went back to work. He ended up turning up in the town that he had left. He just went back to work at the cigar factory where he had left in the year of 1928. So while he was working at this cigar factory for the second time, he met two other people because he met these two other people who he believed were sharing the same kind of suffering.
Instantly, no addiction is fixed. Instantly, he's back looking around. He's like, this hexer, there's a, basically, he's like, there's a serial hexer.
He's in a fucking Hex Anonymous group here.
Yes.
Yeah. and there's a serial hexer loose.
Yeah. So he begins to, he begins to like gravitate towards these two other personalities who he believes that are actually being hexed by perhaps somebody the same person. They were suffering misfortunes the same as him, that were affecting their lives in such a way, in such a serious way, that they couldn't account for naturally.
And both these guys were quite a bit younger, right? Like these guys were like they were teenagers at the time.
The first one is 14-year-old John Curry, who apparently at the time was trapped in an abusive household situation. The other one was Milton Hess, and Milton Hess, I don't think he was in his teens, because he had children.
That's right. Yes, he would have his. Yeah. Well,
right. So yeah. So Milton Hess and his wife Alice had actually been their accounting for the hexes. They had had a series of misfortunes that had seen them from being successful and prosperous until 1926, and then they had a series of unfortunate events which actually began on their farm. So things like, their cattle were dying, cows weren't giving milk, crops were failing, all of that kind of stuff, and then left them, almost destitute at this point. Blymeyer sought out another well-known powwower in the region.
Funny, like, can you think about that though? Like, these guys are at work. Like, this is like modern day fucking Facebook groups. These guys are just in a fucking echo chamber, being like, my life fucking sucks. Mine does too. Weird. I'm hexed. Maybe you guys are hexed too. I gotta be hexed. It only makes fucking sense. Why would my life be this fucking terrible? Because life's supposed to be good.
God would never do this to me. God would never do this to me.
Never. Jesus loves us. We got to be hexed. And so they're just pumping each other up, being like, we're fucked.
Do you pray every night? I do pray every night too.
I pray twice a day.
How can this be happening?
Holy fuck.
So Blymeyer, on these things, he would seek out the knowledge of another regional powwower named Nellie Knoll, who is also known, AKA the River Witch of Marietta.
Great
She's
name.
also an accomplished powwower. Now, when she, consulted with Blymeyer, she identified the source of Blymeyer's hex, and she identified him as a member of the Ryemeyer family, who were actually like a distant branch of Blymeyer's family.
The Rymeyers.
So there's the Blymeyers and the Raymeyers family.
Arch nemesis.
Well, they weren't arch nemesis.
Not necessarily though, because like we remember when we talked about earlier, the fact that John was a sickly child.
Right.
Yeah. Well, his parents or his dad and his grandfather both tried to treat him with their fucking powwow voodoo hoodoo. Unsuccessful. So they went over to their distant cousin's house. Ryemeyer, what's his first name?
They brought is Ryemeyer.
Nelson Ryemeyer.
Yeah.
They went over to Nelson Ryemeyer because they knew he was powerful. Wasn't quite a seventh son of a seventh son, but he was fucking pretty
Might
powerful.
have been a sixth.
And he treated John Blymeyer and cured him as a child.
Yes.
It's also a good connection there.
He was known. So
why the fuck would he hex him, boys? What's going on here?
Yeah, but the thing is like she proved this to Blymeyer. She kind of beyond a doubt and
Do you know
Blymeyer's
how?
mind.
Do you know how?
Well, Go ahead, tell us.
She told Blymeyer to place a $1 bill in his hand. And then she did some kind of fucking Wingardium Leviosa shit around it.
Yeah.
Did a little incantation.
Sure.
Removed the $1 bill. And in his hand was an image of Nelson Reimeyer.
Oh, shit.
Come on.
Well, that's
That's the River Witch of fucking Marietta, boys.
Right.
That
And
is
Nellie Knoll referred to
undeniable
him,
evidence.
Nelson Reimeyer, as the Witch of Reimeyer's Hollow.
And you know what's interesting too is it goes back to Andrew, what was his name again? The other guy,
Andrew Lenman?
Andrew Lenman, because he said it was someone close to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, he pointed the finger so that like he just didn't realize that close.
Well, yeah. Like he didn't specify, right? He didn't do the dollar trick, but he's like, this is somebody that's close to you. I know this. And then, the River Witch of Marietta narrowed it down with a $1 bill. It's your fucking
Or Lenhart.
your cousin's cousin.
Yeah. And so with this confirmation that Reimeyer was the one who had hexed him, and then that actually she confirmed that not only was Reimeyer responsible for the hex that was affecting Blymeyer, but also responsible for the curses that were affecting John Curry and Milton and Alice Hess.
Multiple curses.
So, here's my question though, is I want to know, were both those boys with her when he went and saw Nellie Knoll? Because I don't fucking think so. I think he went and saw Nellie Knoll, found out that it was this Reimeyer guy that's cursed him, and he didn't want to deal with this shit alone. So he's like, listen, boys,
He's running up a posse.
this guy that you guys have no idea who he is, and there's no reason why he'd hex you. I don't know what. It's weird. Get it. But he hexed you guys
He
too.
must have hexed you.
He must
There's
have.
no other
so you're going to have to
explanation.
help me deal with this. It's the only way we can deal with it.
Well, and when you're dealing with a powerful hectician, right? You're going to need some help.
Hexed.
Yeah, boy, you're going to have to do your hexercise. You're going to have to get ready. Limber up.
Right. And so they would have to prepare themselves because Knoll stated that what
Cue training montage. Rising up.
Back on the streets. Did my time, took my chances. With the distance, now I'm back on my feet.
Man, it's
And the will to survive. It's the
hex of the tiger. And so Knoll offered up the remedy for the hexes that were affecting these three men. And she said that in order to take care of this, to combat, well, no, she said didn't have to say you had to kill him, but she said that the men would have to get Reimeyer's copy of the famed book that we said, the widely distributed, The Long Lost Friend, that famous, well-known grimoire that most powwowers would have, and then also obtain a lock of his hair and then bury both 6 feet underground, and that would break the curse.
that right there just goes to tell you the male pattern baldness is all hexes, right? Because everybody that's doing it has hair. Only way you can break it is because they have it. You got to get a lock of their hair.
Those fuckers.
If I hex you, you're fucked. You can't get a lock of my hair. It's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I'm already hexed.
I bet you every single powwower has hair.
So originally,
Those sons of bitches.
Blymeyer convinced Curry to go ahead and go with him to Reimeyer's Hollow and try to obtain these items in order to break the hex. So on November 26th, they were actually driven by Hess's oldest son, Clayton, to the Hollow. And
Wait, you don't have your driver's license either? Nah, must be hex.
And they actually had to stop and ask directions, and they got directions from Reimeyer's former wife. Was also named Alice, and she told him, like,
Could you imagine? Like they're all they knock on the door and they got their pitchforks and torches hidden behind their back, being like, "Excuse me, miss."
Yeah, we're
You know where Nelson's house is? It's like, oh, just a mile down the road.
How many fucking houses are there back then? Isn't there like 16 houses? Like, couldn't they just fucking check the next one?
And so the men figured out. She told them that he's just a mile down the road, just down to this house. So both the men went to Reimeyer's door, and Blymeyer, introduced himself and said, cordially, and being like, can we speak to you a couple minutes? And so he invited them in, and they talked.
Well, he'd probably recognize them too, right?
Right. So they kind of knew each other. he knew each other, and they, talked about family and these things.
Yeah, I healed you.
Don't you remember that?
So, in order to get these items, again, you're not going to really find people who are going to be like, yeah, let me give you a lock of my hair. It's quoted,
especially someone who knows about hexes.
Oh, hey, I think we need to add the fact too. Like when he knocked, he hadn't seen Reimer in a really long time, right? So when he knocked on that door, and like 6'3", 225, 60-year-old fucking Nelson Reimer came coming to the door. He's
monster.
Like, oh. Okay.
Blymeyer is definitely quoted, like it is factually quoted that he said that Blymeyer was much larger and meaner looking than Blymeyer remembered. Like when he came to the door, opened that door. I just imagine like Lurch like opening up the door like.
Because what are we here? We're in 1920 or something.
Yeah.
So
6'3", 220 or 240 in 1920 is probably like equivalent to us
playing on the D line, boys.
That's equivalent to a guy 30 or 40% bigger in today's standards because way better nutrition. So back then, if you got that
he's
big,
a brick shit house.
Yeah, you got that big back then. Monster.
He's a big dude.
He's a fucking big dude, man.
So they got to talking, and then after a while, they realized that it was a little bit late. And Reimeyer, being a good host, offered to let both the visitors sleep downstairs, like being, you guys are visitors. It's out here. It's late. Why don't you go ahead and sleep here overnight? They accepted the offer, but while Reimeyer slept, they took this chance, that opportunity to look for his copy.
Yeah, they're ransacking the house.
Yeah, they're ransacking the house. I don't know how you don't wake up in the middle of the night, like hearing people like rummaging through your shit, but they fucking went through the house or where they were sleeping, trying to find the book. And then not only that, they debated whether to try and obtain a lock of his hair while he was sleeping. But
they argued. They're like, "Yeah, fuck you, you do it."
Yeah,
I'm not touching that guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it went down, because they decided that Reimeyer was way too big for both of them to hold down while they tried to cut his hair. So they decided, the best thing to do was to probably come back later.
They should have cut it off when he slept if they really wanted to try.
Well, that's what they said. That they argued over that. Like they couldn't. If he woke up, like, what are you gonna do?
He was gonna get.
Why wouldn't you? Like,
I'm gonna take my giant boulder fists and crush you, like
pulverize you.
What if he just came to the table and was like, "Listen, man, listen.
I think
Pretty sure you hexed me. All right. You're gonna deny it, which is fine. I get it. It's cool. And if you deny it, why don't you just give me a lock of your fucking hair?
He's like,
dust off your old fucking book.
Any good powwow worth their salt is.
You don't need a lock of their hair to hex them.
Any person.
You don't need a lock. You don't need a lock of the hair to hex them.
I wouldn't give.
No part of fucking hexing involves the hair at all, boys. They can hex them anyways.
You don't give anybody.
Yeah, I would be
magic.
No
DNA.
I would do.
Listen, you don't give.
I would offer up. I'd be like, boys, take a fucking lock
of your body.
No, I'd give him a lock. I'd be like, listen,
I agree with you. There's no way. As a practitioner, there's no way.
If he said no, I refuse to give you a lock of my hair.
I would not.
Then I'd be like, fuck you. Let's go then, buddy.
And he'd be like, okay, let me just snap you in half.
Bro, he's 60 years old, man. This geriatric fuck. I don't care how big he is.
Strength.
I would punch that guy in the dick so hard.
Anyways.
I'm already at the height too. Yeah. Dunzo, man.
Short crouch.
Yeah, you'd cure his urinary blockage, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely, boys.
Okay, so they can't get his lock of hair because they're too much of a pussy.
They're too scared.
They're too scared. Well, they're like, we're not sure we're going to be able to get it because we're not going to be able to hold them down. So, after that, Blymeyer returned to town, and then he told Milton Hess, whose son they had asked to drive up there earlier. He asked Milton Hess that they're going to need another member of his family, to help them subdue Reimeyer. He told them that we're going to need another person to hold him down in order to get that lock of hair so we can lift this hex. And Hess and his wife were like, yeah, sure. Take our 18-year-old son, Wilbert.
Whatever it takes. Yeah. We got to break this curse.
He's also large and slow.
It's just like, I don't know how that conversation went down, but that is amazing to me to be like, yeah, take Wilbert. He's not doing anything. Like,
he's a strong boy. He's a strong boy.
Yeah.
They named the kid after a pig. All right. They obviously don't give a fuck about him.
No, Wilbert. Not Wilbur.
Oh, that was Wilbur.
So the very next night on the night of November 27th, the three of them actually went to Reimar's house. Again, they already had the directions. So
Oddly
they just
enough,
went back.
I know this is American Thanksgiving, but today is Canadian Thanksgiving, and this took place on American Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Yes. Thanksgiving
Timely,
Eve.
boys.
On the Thanksgiving Eve.
Eve.
All right. So they had offered up the pretense that they had left something there at Reimar's house when they had spent the night. So they asked that they could be let in to look for it. Reimar's like, yeah, sure, no problem, dude. Come on in. And they brought them
This
in.
is like at midnight, though.
It's pretty late.
It's late. Like, you don't think
Something
Reimar's like,
important.
what the fuck is going on with these
He's
guys?
so big, he doesn't think anything is going to happen to him.
He's also Blymeier's like family. And I guess, something like it can't be like, okay, sure, whatever. Now, the reports and the writings about what followed vary from report to report about what exactly happened. But what is certain is that there was a struggle in the kitchen.
Fucking slobber knocker.
And that Reimeier was then, with the three of them struggling with Reimeier, he was subdued and then beaten to death. I think it's generally accepted that one of the assailants had they beat him, they knocked him to the ground, and then one of them took a large piece of wood and ended up pretty much like caving in Reimeier's skull.
Basically,
Curry,
breaking the hex.
from what I understand.
He broke the hex.
Breaking the orbital bone and the hex. But like, that makes sense to me. Apparently, so they tied this guy up and they were obviously beating him, took a lock of his hair. And then this kid, he's 14, 15 years old at the time, who's been like just abused throughout his entire childhood, treated like shit. Of course, he's going to have these violent tendencies. All right. And he's like, you're to blame for my fucking horrible life.
Fuck you.
I'm going to grab this log and smash this dude's head in.
So
sad.
Whether the three of them or one of them had gone there with the intention of Reimeier's death, like, is still kind of like, that's up for debate. Like, whether they knew they were going to go there and kill him, nobody's really sure at that point.
They were going. Okay, they brought another person to pin him down. I don't think they planned to kill him, but I think they planned for the struggle. And what I don't think they thought he would put up the fight that he probably did.
Sure.
Oh, this 6 foot fucking 225 pound guy did put up way more of a fight than we thought. Like, what did you think?
I could see it.
When a dude's that big, whenever I see a guy that big and there's a problem, I'm like, I automatically assume that guy's going to choke slam me. Yeah. Every single dude that's over 6 foot knows how to choke slam people.
Yeah.
It's
like, once they pass that threshold, they automatically
they just know.
They just know. It's just the natural
They just
talent.
know.
Yeah.
It's over.
I know because it's happened to me at flashbacks. I've been choke slammed.
It can happen. So they probably went to the house. They thought, the three of them, okay, there's, multiple 3v1 situation. We could definitely pin him down and at least get a lock of his hair and run away before he fucking gets us. They try and pin him down. It's not working. He's picking him up. He's tossing him around the kitchen, left and right. He's choke slamming
hexes.
He's choke
left and right.
One guy gets on his, one guy
hurling fireballs.
One guy gets on his back around his neck. He tries to lock in a choke. He gets tossed. Boom. Everyone's getting tossed and they know. And now this guy's mad. Now he's a big guy and he's mad. You came into his house and you're trying to fuck him over. Now you're in trouble. Yeah. Now you're in a situation where you may die. Like this guy might kill you.
And to be honest, his whole house is probably booby hex.
Has to be.
Right?
He like booby opens up a cupboard door. It's got like a summoning circle on it. He's like, boom.
Yeah, boom. Right, hex.
Right? So
boom,
all
the one thing though, like, I will say that makes sense to me, Zell, but they tied him to a fucking chair.
Well, because the events of this situation, that's what I mean. The events of this situation are not.
Yeah, but you don't tie a dead guy to a chair. He was alive when they tied him to a chair.
Well, maybe he wasn't. Yeah. Maybe he wasn't. Yeah, he was alive. But he got say they hit him in the head once or twice, knocked him out, tied him to the chair. There's no saying that he could have been hit again. The finishing blow.
They hit him. Apparently, they hit him at, like, from what I understand, what I read in the newspaper article is when he was tied to the chair, the Curry kid hit him in the head with a log, and then blood started fucking.
Yeah, but how do they really know exactly what happened?
Like, probably just like fucking lost it. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah.
So, I mean, they could have hit him first, tied him up, and then the finishing blows.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I.
They might
That's
have been
what I
questioning him.
gathered.
Might have been asking him or something about. Could have been asking him about where the book was, but
Where's the hex?
Well, yeah, that's also like you said, Dan. Like they were asking him where the book was, and he did finally admit to having the book.
Right.
Like at the beginning, he's like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about, and then finally he's okay. Like I got the book, and then he was killed.
So later on, Blymeyer would go on to kind of like testify and talk about with Rymeyer's death. He said that he felt the hex lifted, and so that after the hex lifted, they didn't feel like, he said they didn't need the lock of hair and the grimoire, which they had originally come for. But
yeah, it was some sort of fucking Horcrux he had tied to his
Well,
body.
no, because they apparently when you get the lock of the hair, you bury it. And that's what breaks the curse. And they buried his dead body. So like during this trial, Blymeyer had zero remorse. He's like, no. He's like, I'd do it again. I'm great. Everything in my life is perfect now. The hex is gone.
The curse. Like they didn't have to bury him. They just like.
Apparently that's what I read is with the hair being buried counted for like that. That's if they would have got the hair, that's how you break the hex is by burying it.
Right.
Yeah.
6 feet
but
down.
They killed him.
They killed him. So
Yes,
in order to cover up this up, what they thought is like, okay, he's already dead, but we don't want people finding out that we killed him because we did. What they did is they decided to take all of the money in the house, find the money in the house, any money that was laying about, take it out and make it seem like a robbery. And then what they did is
to make it look like a robbery, you just rob them.
Yeah.
Right? That's how that makes sense.
And then they were going to.
Hey, do you know how much they stole from him?
That's a big brain move.
Hey, do you know how much they stole from him?
48 cents.
98 cents.
What?
98 cents.
So I'm talking, boys, they went underneath every single fucking seat cushion in that house.
Yeah.
If you're adjusting for monetary inflation, that's like, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was expecting way more than that.
I don't think I don't know, 15 times. Maybe.
What year is this? 1920.
1920.
28. 1928.
1928 worth. Yeah.
$100 is equivalent to $1,700. So 17 fold. So it's like 17, 18 bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 16, 9 to 7.
Right.
They stole.
Boo! Fucking really got away with one.
So they probably figured out that wasn't going to be enough to justify to be like the authorities. If they figure this out, they'd be like, well, that's not enough. So what they did was they covered the body with blankets and a mattress and then doused the pile in kerosene to set it on fire. And I think they actually also kind of, it's reported that they either like kind of staged or I think they had like put around like alcohol, like whiskey or something like to make it look like Rymeyr had perhaps like he had gotten drunk. He lives alone, older person, knocked over in a kerosene fueled a lamp at the time
and
set fire.
Torched the house.
Yeah, something relatively common occurrence.
And it torched the house, but did it torch the house?
No, I read that they actually, and one of the reports was they piled mattresses on him for like a fire starter, lit it on fire,
Right. Yeah.
burned his body more or less, but nothing else.
Nothing else burned, boys. That's part of he's a witch.
But the grimoire was still in the house, right? The grimoire was still in the house. They didn't take it. So he's like, you can't die by fire. The fire got put out, right? He was already dead, though, but it saved his house.
Yeah.
Just charbroiled his body. Right.
Barbecued.
So these fucking idiots are like, oh, fuck, the house didn't burn.
Right.
Like,
Well, they didn't
you can't
stay
go
long
back
enough.
there now.
They ran out the door, shut the door, and then didn't look back, and they took off. So the fire that they had set did not spread to the rest of the house. It just pretty much left the kitchen charred. Like that was pretty much
Just
as far as it
burned in
got.
place.
It didn't spread to any other parts of the house. And then about 2 days later, a neighbor of Rymeyer's discovered that charred corpse of Rymeyr. And and so authorities came in to investigate. They talked to Alice, just living down the road from Rymeyr. And she told him that, I talked to Blymeyer and Curry and they were looking for Rymeyr. So the police were like, yeah, fuck, just go get those guys. They picked them up, and this was a huge media sensation around that time. Just the fact that you were able to put into the headlines of newspapers across the country with headlines like York witchcraft murder, York hex slayers, powwow murders, just stuff like you could put witchcraft in the headlines that hadn't been seen. Like people hadn't been thinking about witchcraft since the fucking 1700s, you know?
Yeah, and all of a sudden, like
there was there was one person that wasn't willing to stand for any of that shit, and it was the judge. Yeah. he wasn't entertaining any witchcraft or hex bullshit at all.
Right.
He refused it. He said the motive for the crime was robbery.
Right.
He's like, no, it has nothing to do with hex.
Right.
Fuck that shit.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I think one of the theories is that they perhaps they kind of rule, or you know, one of the motives perhaps had been that Reimeyer had employed these men before. Like Reimeyer had employed them to work on his farm, and they knew
potato picking.
Yeah, and they knew that he paid good. And it was kind of seen as a probable motive that they had went there to rob him. Like they had went there to rob him because they knew that, you know, older guy, you know, had money to hire out people. So they were going to go there and rob him. That's what they originally were there to do. It didn't have anything to do with hexes.
Well, I mean, if you're trying to frame it, I mean, that's really the only way you could really try and do it.
So at the end of the trial,
fire in the attic, or a couple different spots in the house at least. They'll make a better effort.
In order to, I think one of the things is that so people describe in some of the articles they describe that the fire had mysteriously gone out. One of the theories is that perhaps yes, maybe he was a witch, maybe he wasn't, and then also. Maybe he wasn't fully dead. He had put out the fire or managed to roll around, extinguish some of the fire before he died. You know, he's just too burnt to stay alive. Another theory I came across was that perhaps like when the trio left, they sealed their own fate because they closed the door.
Mm.
They didn't leave there weren't any windows open. There weren't any of the doors open.
Burned it out.
So all the oxygen that would have been necessary. Like you don't get a cross draft or anything. You wouldn't get any of that.
But they used an accelerator.
Those houses were built entirely out of wood back then. Right? Like that thing would have fucking went up.
What
quick.
I think is, I think he hexed his house.
He's a witch. Yeah, he's a witch. He had protective hexes.
Protective hexes on the house. You know, like
well, that guy definitely had hex insurance. He had hex insurance.
Right, for flood and fire.
Yeah, big time.
So at the end of the trial, Hess, the youngest one, ended up receiving 10 years in prison. Blymeyer and Curry received life sentences. None of the three men, I believe, served the full sentence. I think they got out.
I thought Blymeyer did because he maintained the entire time. He's like, I fucking don't regret anything I did.
Right.
Like he didn't get out until he was in his 50s.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Like they are both. He didn't like take a life sentence. I think they 20 something years probably.
So in Canada life is 25 years.
Right.
Life, yeah. So in my head, I was like, oh, he served life.
Right.
He must have.
I think they got out like after 20, at least. Right. But the Hex House still survives. It's still there.
It's still standing.
Ryerson? What the fuck?
Reimeyer?
Reimeyer descendant owns the place still.
He does. Yes. Apparently you can go, I'm not sure if it's this year or it has been years previous that they do have the historic Hex House Hayride tour that you can go out and go out and kind of take a ride around the historic area of, you know, York County, Pennsylvania, to kind of check it out. But it's there. And, you know, some people who have gone and traveled to this area, it's been getting a little bit more attention in recent years, but people have said that, you know, the woods do have a bit of a spooky feel to them, the places around the house. Some people would say that it like Reimeyer wouldn't haunt the place, like supposedly, like he'd probably be more of a good ghost than anything because he was more of a benevolent powwower, if anything.
Not after you're murdered and burned.
But again,
angry.
I still the one. Go ahead, Zell.
Well, that was it. As I said, he's angry. He's an angry spirit. He's been murdered. He's been burned. He probably is haunting this place, and that's why you can't actually there's been some tours of the house, but for most people, it's either just the hayride around the property. Very few people actually get a tour. His descendant is like one of his distant cousins or something has been trying to get it turned into a museum, but denied.
Right.
Why?
It's kind of difficult. I would imagine it's kind of difficult to get it.
Well, maybe it's not enough like actual history to be worthy of a museum,
right?
But some type of attraction. Like I'm sure there's lesser houses that have been managed to turn a profit by charging haunted tours.
Yeah. So if you do go and take the hayride, I wouldn't be expecting too much because I think one of the common complaints is that it's not scary. It's not supposed to be, is what the
I thought you see the ghost of Nelson.
Yeah, 100% guaranteed to see.
100% guaranteed.
Brian Myers' ghost. No,
Brian Myers' ghost. To see it for sure. I believe it 100%. After fucking Johnny Boy got released from jail, guy went on, became a janitor, lived a normal life, no other problems. He lived a happy life after that because he got rid of the hex.
Sure.
Right? Tim Curry? Is it Tim Curry?
No, not Tim Curry.
What's his name? What's the guy's name? John Curry? No. Fucking it all up.
Yeah, John Curry.
The Curry, whatever the Curry kid's name is.
Right, John Curry.
John Curry.
Yeah.
He went and fought in World War II. And during World War II, he became a fucking like famous artist. Like legit. You can look it up. He's got famous art. He's became a rich man. Like these guys' lives got better after they murdered this fucking guy.
So
after a little
they got rid of the hex, went out to live a fulfilling life.
That's what I'm saying. Right? Like, and their family members maintain that they were hexed. They were cursed.
It's possible. I'm not denying the hex. I'm not denying the curse.
No, I'm telling you, boys, it's real.
I
bet you all three of those guys bald as fuck.
So the most hexed house
Super hexed.
America.
The most hexed house in America. Maybe the most hexed house in the world.
Yes.
Perhaps.
Probably.
Yeah.
I've never heard of another hexed house.
This is the first
for Spooktober. You got the most.
No, there is another hex house.
I'm sure there's more, but we haven't got to them yet. And when
I fucked up,
Spooktober.
I was watching a YouTube video about another hexed house. I was like, this doesn't sound like
next year on Spooktober hexed houses, an even more haunted house.
Even the more
hexed
house.
The most hexedest house.
Yeah, maybe we'll go over the pond for the next
house.
It is strange. I mean, it's an all wood house, super dry wood. How it doesn't go up. I can see 100%. it. I can see it if it's was some well built houses back in the day, and it really depended on who built your house.
Is it the kitchen though? I would imagine like the kitchen would be a little bit more fire proof than.
It's not. Well, it's just there's everything.
Wood frame. Wood frame house. Fucking.
Well, no, a wood frame house. With wood walls, yes, but if it's plaster walls and plaster ceiling, maybe not.
Not possible.
That's what I mean. If you wanted to burn the house down, you should have multiple spots.
You could have tried harder.
You could have broke a window. You could have lit the attic. You could have done a lot of stuff. You just try to burn them in the middle of the room.
Or you could have just cut a fucking piece of this guy's hair and ran away. You didn't have to kill him, you crazy bastards. Like, come on.
Well, unless, so they said they found the grimoire there?
No, they did. It's never been recovered. Unless they did find it, they just never admitted it.
And never told anyone.
So maybe they took it with them. Let's say this. Maybe they killed him because maybe their suspicions, once they beat him, they're like, where is it? Give it to us. And he finally gave it up. They opened it or whatever. And maybe there was their names in the book, right? And they're like, this would that, or maybe there was something that they're like, you did this to us.
Here's the thing,
and then
though.
They killed him.
If let's say, yes, okay, the book did exist. They found it. That's why they killed him. If these hexes are real and this book was real, these guys are supposed to be fucking, he's supposed to be invincible.
Real. The book is real.
But he's supposed to be invincible then. No harm was supposed to come to him like that.
From enemies. Yeah,
well, exactly. And he was murdered.
Maybe got a fake book.
Maybe they had a more powerful anti-hex
knockoff version.
They had
It's the New Testament of the Longfellow deeds.
No. They had hardcover. He had paperback.
Yeah.
I'll read paperback 9 times out of 10. I hate hardcover.
It's hard to fold.
But I'm saying if you want a more powerful book, you got to go hardcover.
Looks nice on the shelf.
Oh, fuck it. I give all my books away anyways.
Theirs was bound. What's it called when you bound a book in human flesh?
Was it anthropodermic bibliophagy?
Yeah,
that's
what
the
they
one.
had
That
there.
sounds
I'm amazed I can remember that right now.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, you really recalled that. Interesting.
Yeah.
I've had it's taken up a new hobby.
Just want to take a couple photos of you, and you can leave.
That's some nice skin you got there. Real smooth. Should cure nicely.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
Cover my Dr. Zeus perfectly.
That's about the exact fit for my Mary Shelley first edition.
If you or your family think they're hexed, make sure to reach out to Alien Theorist Theorizing. We'll be sure.
Buy the audiobook.
Buy the book.
Well, don't reach out to us. We just claimed at the beginning of the episode that
we're
we
all
are hexed.
fucked. We're hexed. Well, that's what I'm saying. That kid's sickly to begin with. John was a sickly kid. They couldn't fix
anybody
him.
who has been
Like,
hexed.
Please reach out.
You may be entitled to compensation.
Weird. It's a weird story.
Spooktober.
If you've
in
ever
the
been there,
books.
let us know. Let us know if you've been there. Let us know you get a weird feeling. Anyone from the Pennsylvania region, let us know.
Yeah, or if you know
if
a pow hour, if you know somebody who's a hexerai, practitioner, that'd be cool to check out. Just I think I've seen a couple. It's like their shops and stuff. I'm sure it still survives to this day. Like that kind of stuff is still fun to look into. We might actually have to. There is a very deep well of cultural. Like a lot of cultural stuff to go into if we ever get into that at some point.
Yeah, like the Belschnickel and the Strudelpeter.
All right, I got this. What the fuck is this? This a weird interference.
What's that? Static? What is this?
The following announcement has been paid for by Alien Theorist Illuminati.
Fantastic.
The ATI are back.
Oh, God damn it.
That's me.
That's you.
It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today.
Good on the ATI because it will be Braden's birthday on Friday when this releases.
They're smart. They're smart.
For Patreon at least.
Spelled my name wrong though.
Wow, fuck. It didn't spell it Craig.
R-A-I-G.
Closest mates. It's your birthday today.
This is going to haunt my nightmares.
I like it.
It's fucking awesome. Reminds me of Power Thirst.
This is absolutely insane. I know. All right.
How you doing, everybody?
It's not
This
over?
AJ Galante,
Is there
former
more?
president of the original Bad Boys of Hockey, the Dan.
Oh, shit.
A special birthday shout out to one of British Columbia's favorite sons, the #1 catio maker in the world, Braden. Happy birthday, brother. I know you're hanging out with Zell, Dan, and Andrew. Hope you're having a great birthday, man. Wishing you a blessed day, blessed year ahead. Make sure you have a slice of cake or a scoop of ice cream for me. Really appreciate the love and support. I know you enjoyed the Trashers documentary. You did a podcast on it. That's super dope. You got to email me the podcast. I love to listen to it, man. dbtrashers@gmail.com. And you got a baby on the way. So I know Western Canada is the toughest of the tough, when it comes to, especially when it comes to hockey. So, you need a tough name. So if it's a boy, I'm thinking like, I don't know, maybe the Trashers mascot, Scrappy, or Rocky, or for a girl, maybe Roxy. But
yeah, that's going to be top of the list now.
Good things coming your way. I just had my first son 2 weeks ago, little Dominic. So it's an amazing feeling. I don't know if this is your first child or not, but it's such an amazing feeling to be a dad.
All right, AJ, this isn't about you.
You know how much they look up to you. So definitely keep doing your thing, Braden. Keep building those cat patios. And listen, wrestling. Huge wrestling fan. I've been involved. I've been involved in NXT the past few months. So definitely check out NXT. I'm kind of managing Tony D'Angelo. And yeah, most definitely, guys. Braden, God bless, man. Happy birthday. Shout out Zell, Dan, and Andrew. And hey, have a great day and all the best. Thank you for the support.
Brayden.
That's awesome. Kid's name is Scrappy, whether it's a boy or a girl.
To drink.
Absolutely.
To drink.
Uh-oh.
I think it's a gender neutral
Anytime
name.
they hear the word amazing, and anytime they hear the word man in the next few minutes.
Brayden!
Very special happy birthday shout out, and this is going out to a very special man, a longtime fan of mine. And a guy that everybody loves. He's got a heart of gold. This is going out to Brayden, and this is coming courtesy of all your buddies. Everybody's thinking about you, and they just want to congratulate you on the new baby Egbert. And everyone's just so happy for you because everybody knows, Brayden, that you're an amazing man and you're going to do great things. And you're going to be an amazing father. And everyone just thinks the world of you because you prove every single day when it comes to being a man that you are the excellence of execution, everything you do. And all the love, all the sacrifice, all the dedication, and the hard work that you put into being the amazing man that you are never goes unnoticed and never goes unappreciated by your friends. Everyone knows what a very special man you are.
That's what I was thinking too. And it's a shame because I met him, so I obviously didn't.
I know you're a big fan of mine, and I thank you so much for always being in my corner, always cheering me on, always just being there for me. But just know, Brayden, that everyone's there for you, and they just want you to have a fantastic birthday because you're an amazing guy, and don't ever change. Just know the way you live your life and the way you carry yourself as a man, that you prove time in and time out that you are, without a doubt, the best there is, the best there was, and the best ever will. Take the time this year to pat yourself on the back.
That's so fucking. This is everything I wanted to hear from my father.
Stay cool, stay safe, keep on rocking, and God bless.
Guess what, everybody? Today is Brayden's birthday.
Boom!
Yeah, that's
awesome,
man. Fucking Brett,
Sing
made
along
hard.
with me for Brayden's very
Holy
own
shit, that was
birthday
awesome.
song.
That was cool.
Happy
Not over.
birthday,
Fucking love Bret Hart.
Oh my God, there's more.
Happy birthday.
Fat Brayden Productions. That's it.
Oh, that was awesome.
That's
That's good stuff.
That was cool.
I was not expecting
Brought a
that.
tear to my eye. The Hitman.
That was fucking wicked.
Well, thank you, ATI. That was,
ATI for the win.
It's very touching.
I was not expecting that.
Brought a tear to my eye.
I was not expecting
That
that.
hurt. I was in his corner all the time.
You're in a sharpshooter of emotions.
That was about where all the fucking truth ended.
Yeah, that's it. All the rest of the stuff was just, you must have been reading the script for the rest, but that part hit me.
Fuck, that was cool.
Thanks, everyone.
ATI.
That was amazing. I'm going to
Legends.
put that as a ringtone and listen to it all the time.
Listen to it every night before I go to sleep.
Every time you call Brayden, it's going to be a 6-minute ringtone. You'll never get to talk to him.
He's going to make everyone listen that's around.
Brayden! Hey, Brayden, it's Brett the Hitman Hart.
There you go.
Almost done.
One second. 1 second.
He's about to tell me how amazing I am.
We'll let it ring twice.
Some people like, what is it when you wake up and you do your daily affirmations? Mine's going to be just listening to Bret Hart tell me how amazing I am.
Instead of the sun salutations.
Hey, not many people can best that. I don't know.
Hey, every morning I'm going to be like, yeah, you know what, Brett? I am amazing.
I am amazing.
Thanks, Brett.
You know what?
Thanks, Brett.
Pat on the
Appreciate
back.
it.
I'm the excellence of execution.
All the amazing things I do. You know what? I am doing amazing things, Brett.
Thank you, Brett. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. That was
That was awesome.
very nice. Very thoughtful.
Fuck yeah.
I loved it.
All right. And this week's Theorist of the Week sent me, is that
Bret Hart.
it's Bret Hart.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Forget this. Forget it. Someone sent me, if you're watching the live stream, you're going to see it. If not, we're going to post a picture of it on socials. Someone sent this anonymously. I don't know who sent it.
It's really cool.
It was from, the only thing it said was from like the canvas printer, but obviously someone made this, sent it to a printer to get it shipped here because it's very unique and one of a kind.
Right.
Wow, that's fucking awesome.
So if you
super
watch
cool.
it,
What a fucking rad glory hole painting.
yeah, there's a nice glory hole right here, right under the guy who is playing drums. It looks like a drum, but it's actually a hole.
Hey, Brett builds me up. You guys got to tear me down, eh?
Yeah.
But you know
absolutely.
what? And did you see this on the side?
Nova?
Over here? I can't see. It's so big.
Over there.
Look how big this thing is.
It's a really large art piece.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Anyway,
yeah, we're mostly audio media, but yeah, people can't see it. But it's like it is a great painting of Zell.
It's my band.
Luck.
He did a
couple of monkeys.
So if you ever watch the band live, our singer wears this bowler cap and wears the red pants often, and so it's a definitely custom,
super clockwork orange.
Oh, big time. Great. So whoever sent that, please let me know because that's fucking cool. Yeah. I don't have any space to put it, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. It's that big. It's going to go on the roof, I think, right above me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick it up top here.
So you can look up. That's a good size.
But anyways, whoever
ceiling above your
random canvas person, you are this week's Theorite of the Week. So let me know who you are.
Tied with Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But that's awesome. All right. And if you're not supporting the show, why not? Why aren't you supporting the show?
Yeah, fuck it. Listen, we don't even care anymore. We don't care about the bonus stuff. We don't care about anything. Support the show because we need hair. We need hair. Right? The four of us want thick, luscious hair. There's no way we're going to be able to afford it unless you go to patreon.com/Ian and Theorists podcast and donate to the show so we can make enough money so we can go to Gobeki Toupee and get some hair plugs.
It's not even about that. Help us help you.
Yes.
I know you're sick of looking at four ugly fucking hideous bald chuds.
Yeah.
Setups get some flow.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
It's for everyone.
Yeah, it benefits everybody.
Yeah.
Really. It's an investment, really, and the returns are us not looking like hideous.
I'll tell you what, because if you want a perfect example of why you should support, because I'll tell you right now, because we just got a month pledge by our Lord and Savior Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, fucking Jesus.
It does say Jesus.
It says Jesus. Not only Jesus, we got Jake the Snake.
It could be any Jesus.
We got a full year pledge from Art by Cassani. We got a month pledge from Conjure 2525. Tom Unts. We got Gato Padre, Emily Davidson, and Michael Dan.
Can you even call yourself a Christian at this point in time if you're not supporting our show?
Absolutely not. Stop giving your money to church. Give it to us.
Oh, it could be any Jesus.
Praise.
Is it Jesus of Nazareth?
Whatever.
I'd be like, yeah, okay. It's
whatever your version of Jesus is, pledge for us.
He loves the show.
He loves it.
Yeah.
He loves us. We got a full year pledge by Lost 687.
Ding.
Anthony Lisp.
It's Uncle Slam's friend.
Stuck with us for
Uncle Slam's good friend. War Fury. Rodolfo Monaco. Drew the Defiler. Pretty sure he's also a vampire. Reese Rich. Dallas Horny. Has to be. No, it has to be Horny. It has to be Dallas Horny. Brandon Dempsey. And the full year top tier pledge by none other than Hooker Tattoos. Thank you very much for supporting the show.
We're not worthy.
We're worthy of those plugs if you get it on the Patreon.
If you get on the Patreon. AlienTheorist.com. Find the merch, find the Patreon, find it all. We appreciate it.
And as we say at the end of these things, keep those eyes on the skies. Peace.
See you in the afternoons.